观众朋友大家好，欢迎来到本次的傲神金股小股票大收益，我是 Angel。今天很荣幸我又找到一家是挖金矿的公司，它是在墨西哥的西北部这儿有矿，是挖金子的。这是因为我们华人非常喜欢的一个行业挖金矿。那么它在 OTCQB 它是一家质量比较好，在 OTCQB 它是 Reygf 的代码。如果是多伦多的朋友，加拿大的朋友，他在多伦多的那个挂牌是 Reyg， 那么可能我们美国的会更多一点，所以我们记 Reygf 会更好。那在节目开始之前，我会说一下免责声明，在本次的路演当中会涉及到很多估计、预测、预期这样的一些前瞻性的词汇，希望大家能够了解。今天我请到的是 Reygf 的CEO Michael。Hello Michael。
Hi Angel, thanks for having me.
Thank you.
I'm coming from Hong Kong.
Wow,
I'm based in Hong Kong.
Yeah. Okay, so then it's your show. Let's do it slide by slide, and I'll do the translation slide by slide.
Yeah, great. No, great to get the story out to all your followers. And what we're focused on here at Rainer Gold is big scale gold exploration. So you can see on this map on the right side here, we have the gold trends in the west coast of America. These gold trends have produced 5% of the gold ever mined. And then you can see we come down into Mexico and we've got two developing gold trends that have really just been discovered and focused on since the signing of NAFTA in 1995, where this stuff up in America was first discovered after the Mexican-American War in 1820s. So you can see, like, we're literally hundreds of years behind in our understanding down in Mexico compared to up here in America. So that's what Rainer Gold is focused on, big-scale gold exploration in northwestern Mexico.
Got it. 那我们先说一下为什么我们会选取在墨西哥西北部这里做一个黄金的勘探，主要是因为从我们的地理位置来看，大家可以看到这个图片那整这一块到这里这里是 Mexico， 很明显它这里的黄金储量是在我们之前发现当中觉得这一块就是什么金矿的这一带。那么这有两个主要的一个黄金系统，然后它发现超过50个millions of ounce 我特别去查了那个 MOC 是啥意思是100万盎司的黄金，所以它下面是很多的金矿。那么它的成本也低，采矿也是有好的位置，所以这块是值得我们去看的。包括金矿这块，我要稍微说一下，它是那个沁染型的金矿，然后高品位的矿的这个细脉矿有很多种，然后你挖出来可能都是金子，但是它的段位是不一样的有青铜有那个就一样的，跟打游戏，那它这个段位是比较好的。Okay, next slide.
So this is now zooming into the gold trend on the left side of those two gold trends in northwestern Mexico. This is home to the biggest gold mine in Mexico called La Herradura. Almost 16 million ounces of gold have been discovered. This makes it one of the biggest gold mines in the world.
Okay.
And you can see there's other deposits around it, but there's a lot of potential. And if from a very basic geological point of view, when there's one big deposit like La Herradura, there's generally other big deposits close by. So that's why we're focused initially on this trend.
Got it. 那这个地方它是墨西哥的一个地方，我查了一下，中文好像叫格洛利亚，它叫 La Gloria。然后这里它是应该说是墨西哥这一块拥有那个黄金储备是最高的那它已经发现超过是3500万盎司，然后这一块它的地质学方面包括金矿方面都是值得我们去谈谈的。Okay.
Now, this is zooming into our La Gloria property, and it's a big property. It's 24,000 hectares, that's 240 square kilometers. And you can see there's a lot of faulting, and we won't get into the technicalities of this on this call, but the faulting is generally gaps. There's movements in the earth, and that allows mineralization to come up to surface. So we're finding a lot of gold, silver, copper, lead, and zinc on the property, generally around these faulting lines. And we're doing a lot of work to understand the faulting, but you can see there's some big faults on the property. And a key thing to understand, just very high level for the followers, is that the faulting generally runs on the same trend as the trend northwest up towards the west coast of America.
好，那我们再继续看这一块区域啊，叫 La Gloria， 它现在是可开矿的面积大概是24215公顷区域的面积，然后它是西北东南走向的一个断层。那它之前有多少的历史作业面积是40多个？那历史作业面积是非常重要的，就是说这个东西之前有人开采过，那说明下面是有很大的一个等待挖掘开采这个矿的一个潜力。那么我们已经确定了一个12个目标区域啊，然后它有不同的矿化的类型啊，这个大家可以了解一下。那他刚才有强调说这个40多个历史作业面积，就说明这个地方是选对的，它里面是有很多的那个金子可以等待我们去挖掘。
I'll just briefly mention this slide. This is quite a technical slide, but the red dots and the blue dots are magnetic anomalies, and these are related to mineralization. And you can see what we're finding is gold mineralization, particularly around the blue dots. So far from our work, we're getting greater correlation with the blue dots to gold mineralization. And you can see there's a lot of blue dots on this area of the property.
Got it. 这一块它其实是测量结构的一个测绘图啊，可能会偏技术一点。那有红色跟蓝色啊，这些都是为了让方便我们记。那么蓝色区域这块大家可以看到，他们已经挖掘出很多潜在的地方，所以这个他们选的地是没有问题的，是非常正确的。
These are now the initial drill results we've put out. So we've just started drilling on the property and we're finding lots of gold and silver. And the standout drill results we have today are 59 meters of 1.45 grams per ton gold from surface, and then 5.5 meters of 935 grams of silver, also basically from surface. Now, what we're looking for is mineralization close to the surface. That's easier to mine. And in this part of the world, we have a very simplistic processing called heap leaching, which is what most of the gold produced from Nevada is produced in this manner. And we're looking for similar oxide material close to surface that we can do. So we're very, very, very pleased with this 59 meters of basically 1.5 grams gold from surface. This is a substantial intercept of gold of good grade. And now we'll go back and we'll look to extend follow-up drilling around this hole. The team has already identified this structure for about 800 meters at surface. So we now look to extend and drill along this 800 meters. And then hopefully we can start to build up a good gold deposit just from that part of the property. And that by itself is probably enough to be an economic gold mine.
Okay, so first we will see a lot of Cu or gold. It's gold, right?
Yeah. So it's gold. Yeah, gold.
Okay. So this a little bit I need to change. Okay. 那它这是第一期的钻探的结果，它发现的是高品位的金和高品位的银啊。我刚才翻译的地方我把它改一下啊。那在59米处呢，它已经发现了这样一个 1.45G 这个每吨这样段位的一个金，然后包括这样的一些银啊等等那么刚开始第一期的钻探结果就已经能达到不错的成绩，那说明它下面会有很多值得我们去勘探的金包括银都在这里面。
This is now the area that we've drilled to date. It's a stretch of about 6.3 kilometers in length, and we've hit gold mineralization all along this length, and also silver, copper, lead, and zinc. So we've got a big mineralized system here, and we're now looking to, particularly expand this both in width and in length, but also start to focus in on this La Republicana area up here, where we got the 59 meters of 1.5 grams of gold. And then down here, the big pit area is where we got the high grade silver intercept. And what we believe actually down here, Angel, is the high grade silver intercept, to get such high grade silver close to surface is a good indication of a very strong mineralization system forcing the silver up. So we want to start looking deeper and understand what's driven up this high grade silver to surface.
Got it. 那这个是墨西哥它一个系统的一个标志，包括一些侵入性相关矿化的一个截面图。大家可以看到，它大概挖了是6.35千米这样子，它可以去看这里面它的那个含金啊、含银的一个含金含银一个量。那通过这一块，他们刚才我也说第一阶段的一个提取，感觉哎这个地方这个洞是钻对了，然后下面然后各种数据回测回来，觉得哎不错啊，那他们会继续深入的挖掘这个洞，然后下面应该会有很多的金子啊，等待我们去发现。
This is now zooming into our La Republicana target area. This area is about 5 square kilometers, all with the same volcanic host rock, which is very favorable for hosting gold and silver mineralization. We're finding a lot of it at surface, and we want to expand the drilling around this area. But this is a very promising area where hopefully we can start to build up a lot of gold and silver mineralization quite quickly on the property.
OK， 这是另外一个还是这个地方是 La Republicana 这个地方，然后它的这个目标区域大概是5.14平方公里，然后是金银的主岩啊，火山岩为主的。然后最初开了2个洞啊，在西北区，然后结构方面拿出来的数据啊都非常满意啊。它现在采集的量270个岩石，然后品位都很高，大家可以看一下它的金的品位啊、银的品位等等啊，包括也会有少量的铜。
This is now the big pit area where we got the high-grade silver intercept. Now we're finding a lot of bulk gold mineralization close to surface, which is basically in this red structure here, the gold mineralization. Now the silver mineralization was in this orange structure, and we want to understand this is a more vertical structure. And when you get a vertical structure coming up to surface with high-grade mineralization, it generally means it's a big mineralization event occurred at depth. So we want to start to follow this orange structure down to depth and start to see what we find. But we would expect to find that the mineralization will become larger at depth.
So what is the red one? It's gold?
This is gold. Yeah, this is gold.
Understood. 好，那主区他们叫 Big Pit， 我特别去查了一下大坑。那这个主区这一块它其实是比较 shallow 的，比较浅的，它会有高级段位的金和高级段位的银。我刚才特地问了一下，红颜色其实就是金，那这个 orange 颜色的这个橘色的它就是银，所以这一块非常确定下面金子有这一点呢，银的应该是这些橘色部分。
Now, these are just some of the important people that we have involved in the company. Dr. Peter McGall is a very famous geologist in Mexico. He's American. He's the founder of Mag Silver, which is a multi-billion-dollar silver exploration company, really been a darling of the exploration market over the last 10 years. We also have 2 other really world-class geologists involved, Dr. Tony Lungo and Doug Kerwin. We also have Peter Jones as a director. He's the founder of Hud Bay Minerals, which is a multi-billion-dollar base metals company. And then Steve Letwin, who is a former CEO of IM Gold, a mid-tier gold producer. So for a junior gold company, we have a lot of high-caliber people involved with the company.
好的，这是我们的高管的一个人员名单啊。那 Michael Wu 他是 CEO。那我们看一下，他们有那个 Dr. Peter McGall 这个人啊，他是美国人，但他在墨西哥是非常有名的。他其实也是大家可以看到他在17年墨西哥发现这个获得这个奖的。包括他们还有 Tony Lungo Douglas Kerwin Peter Jones Steve Lewin 我这不一一读了。大家可以看到 Peter Jones 他其实是之前的一个这个公司HBM 的创始人。那包括 Steve Lewin 他也是之前 IM Gold 的代码的这家公司的创始人。所以作为一个我们 OTC 的公司，但是我们的人员结构是非常的高端的基本上有很好的前面一些背景技术包括对公司的管理方面。
This is our capital structure. We raised 10.5 million Canadian dollars in our IPO in January at 40 cents per share. And unfortunately, with the heavy sell-off in the markets over the summer, our share price went down to as low as 12. Well, today we're trading, I think, at 16 cents. So we've come off the bottom. But it makes it a very attractive entry point for new investors to the story. We had a lot of institutional investors, you can see listed below, that invested in the IPO of 40 cents, and investors in your network today can buy the stock probably below 20 cents. So a good discount to the entry point from the IPO back in January. Also, we're in a position where our market cap is only around 10, 11 million Canadian dollars, and we have $7 million cash in the bank. So our enterprise value is very low. So really a very interesting entry point for new investors.
我们看一下这家公司目前的资本结构情况，它的管理层拥有多少股权，然后机构投资人啊，这里也都是非常知名的一些机构投资人已经投了我们这家公司，然后它在外流通股是这些，每股价格应该是14个。它在加拿大嘛，是加拿大元是1毛4，市值大概是900万这样子的加拿大的货币，但是在银行里面就有700万的加元，他们之前他们认股的时候，包括一些期权都是40 cents 这样子，现在应该大家可以看到，现在它的一个 discount 是很高的，那现在这个价位去入的话，其实是可以的啊，可以入的，大家可以关注一下。
So just to wrap up, Angel, we're doing extensive work on the property. We will have news flow keep coming from the drilling over the coming months. And we've got lots of targets, lots of areas. You can see the vastness of the property on the right-hand side. And in summarization, we're finding high-grade gold and silver on the property, which is great. But not only that, we're finding copper, lead, and zinc, which is a very strong indication this is a big mineralized system. This property has never really been looked at, explored. So we've put together a world-class exploration team, good capital, and we're the first people really to go and look. And if you want to make a big discovery, generally you need to have gone somewhere where no one's gone before. If you're picking over like places in Nevada and Canada that have been explored for hundreds of years, it's very hard to find a big discovery. But we're really in a territory here where big discoveries can be made, and that's what we're looking for. So great to get the story out to your followers, and if there's any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out.
Got it. 那我们来做一下汇总啊，他现在待的这个地方，我刚才有说是墨西哥地方叫 La Gloria， 那它的利好因素是很多，那其实已经挖出来一些了，大家可以看到它的段位是很高的，包括已经完成的那个多少个桶的钻啊，然后是采样绘图这些。那重点突出的是，它是一个高品位的金跟银，它的钻探接轨已经超过6.3公里这个区域的，而且它下面采购的成本比较低啊，然后集中比较高。除了有金跟银，它其实下面还有铜，还有锌这些啊，这些都是未来非常需要的一些金属元素，所以这一块综上所述吧，大家可以关注一下这家公司目前的价位也不高，然后机构投资人是多少钱进去，大家也可以看到，然后现在正在挖掘，然后品位也总体来说是非常不错的一个高品位的金，高品位的银。Okay, I collect some questions from our analyst team. And they mentioned you are a very well-financed company with institutional investor. So do you have any financing needs in the next 3 to 6 months?
No, we're running at a budget in the region of kind of 150 to 500,000 Canadian dollars per month spend, depending on the amount of drilling activity. So we're well financed for at least the next kind of 6 months. I think maybe at some point in 2023, maybe the latter part of 2023, we'll look to raise more equity on the back of hopefully substantial news, which re-rates our share price substantially higher. But we don't need to raise equity in this kind of challenging market environment. So for new investors coming to the story, the way to buy is to go on the market and buy the equity on the market.
That's true. 因为刚才我们那个分析师有看嘛，觉得他资金来源都是一些很不错的机构投资人嘛，就想问他现在资金是很充足的，未来会不会考虑融资？包括这个是我们散户最关心的问题啊，我每次也会问。那目前来说，他的那个每个月奔的 rate 啊什么都是足够撑的，撑到明年是没什么，明年。未来反正6个月没什么问题啊，那可能2023年之后可能持续的有更多的金啊、银啊、矿的扩大，可能需要一些钱。那目前3到6个月是绝对没有问题。 So second question, you have discovering gold and silver on your property. What is the timeline that you are working forward towards to becoming a mine?
Yeah, we have a vast property, but we also have the ability to find, like we're saying, our target is to find mineralization close to surface that's easy to process. So the timeline is within the next 12 months, we'll keep the exploration. Then we'll look to build up what's called a resource based around the gold and silver. And then we'll start to look for financing to develop that and put it into production to produce cash flow, which probably will then use to expand the property more and more. But if we have a resource in the region of kind of 500,000 to 1 million ounces of gold, just gold, purely gold, I mean, we'll have silver, copper, lead, and zinc, then that would be economic in this part of the world. And with the infrastructure we have in place. So that's our timeline. So hopefully it would be a mine within kind of 2 to 3 years is the timeline we're working towards.
OK， 所以他目前是在挖这个金跟银嘛，在这个区域范围内啊，然后问他就整个一个timeline， 它的时间是感觉会怎么样？他未来12个月就继续在采凯这些已经在自己这个区域范围内去采矿，然后采出来之后，那它这些都可以变现嘛。然后未来的话，你说它的时间范围就未来12个月啊，继续采矿，然后发现打更多的洞，然后2到3年内啊，可以让这些东西啊，就成为一个 mine 啊，可以成为一个能够卖出去的项目。OK， 然后 the last question, Mexico is a major mining location, number 1 producer of silver, top 10 producer of gold and copper in the world. What are the advantages of working in Mexico?
Mexico is a great low-cost jurisdiction and it's mining friendly. It's easy to get labor. There's a lot of skilled labor for a good price. The government is favorable for providing permitting. In parts of particularly America and Australia and Canada, you can have big issues getting permits just to drill. In Mexico, we get it very easily. It took us about 3 weeks to get our drilling permits at La Gloria. It can take months, if not years, in other jurisdictions just for drilling, let alone production. So a very friendly mining jurisdiction and a lot of underexplored areas like we have. So not only is it low cost, it's mining friendly, but there's a lot of potential for development. And you can see a lot of mines have been discovered in the last kind of 30 years, but we feel that's just scratching the surface and there's a lot more to be found. So great location to work, really very pleased with the people we have on the ground as well in Mexico. They're great workers and producing good results.
Got it. 因为墨西哥它其实是一个主要的矿场的一个地区啊，然后金跟铜方面也是世界10大出产位于第一的一个地方。那我刚才问他墨西哥在采矿方面还有哪些优势？那首先肯定是 labor cost， 对吧？它很 low， 然后很低的那个人工价，然后就是审批，在别的地方他们一般就是钻个洞都要可能1个月甚至更久，半年等等，因为有环保方面这样和那样的考量嘛。那墨西哥还是非常欢迎大家去采矿，所以你去批的话，3到4周就拿到了这个开采的证啊，然后人力成本也不错，然后主要是它下面经过自己的勘探，包括它之前的一些历史原因，大家可以看到下面的确是有很多的金子在发现的。然后现在我们这家公司Reygf 这家公司，它找到的那个区域下面是量很大啊，它的金的量很大，金矿量很大，银矿也很不错。主要是不仅是要量大，还要品位好，这点很关键，我一直在强调品位。那么它的品位通过这些时间的努力看到的一些 sample 都是很不错的。OK， 好，那我们今天就到这里，我再来总结一下。Let me summarize for the audience. Michael， 今天找到的公司叫Reygf Gold，right？Reygf Gold，OTC 代码是 Reygf， 它是一家在墨西哥西北部它是做黄金勘探的区域公司，挖金矿的公司。目前这一带的金矿是非常值得通过勘探已经看到了量很大，第二是品位很高。那么如果对挖金矿感兴趣的朋友那大家可以关注一下 Reygf。那目前的价格应该也算是偏低估的嘛，因为他们基本上机构投资人是占了蛮多的，然后入股的价应该大家都可以在 公开的资料上面能够看到。好，那今天就到这里。Reygf， 如果您对金矿感兴趣，大家可以持续关注，也欢迎订阅我们的 YouTube 频道，关注我们的微信，那然后到我们的官网 ChineseFN.com 去留下您的email，每天我们都会发布更多的信息来追踪我所介绍一些公司。OK。